Hello kiddos, this is a video on grammar. First thing I want you to do is go to your grammar binder, your grammar tab, and find the worksheet that says verbals. Gerunds is page 17. So put this on hold and get that sheet and also get something to write with. You hopefully have already seen the video on verbals called participles. If not, you need to watch that one first. So watch the participles first, and gerunds is our second kind of verbal that we'll be looking at. So take a look at this worksheet with me. Bullet number 1. A gerund is a verb form. So it is a form of a verb used as a noun in the sentence. Gerunds can be used in any way that a noun can be used in a sentence. So for example, a gerund, which is a verb form, can be used as the subject of a sentence. It can be used as a direct object, if you remember what a direct object is. It can be used as a predicate nominative, if you remember what that is. It can be used as the object of a preposition. So however a word can be used as a noun in a sentence, a gerund can be used. Second bullet, gerunds are verb forms that end in ing. Examples of gerunds used as nouns. Let's look at those 5 bullet points. Walking is one of the best cardio exercises. Now that's being used as a noun in that sentence. As a matter of fact, walking is the subject of that sentence. Let's look at that sentence for a minute. Walking is the subject, is the predicate. So walking is a form of the verb to walk. You recognize that right away. It has an ing ending, but it's not being used as a verb. It's being used as a noun in that sentence. That's why it's called a gerund. Look at the second bullet. However, Tommy's favorite cardio exercise is running. Running is a verb form, the verb form of the verb to run. It's got an ing ending, and it's being used as a noun in that sentence. It is Tommy's favorite form of cardio exercise. So it answers the question, what? What is Tommy's favorite cardio exercise? The answer is running. It's being used as a noun. Look at the third bullet. My grandmother is teaching me knitting. Knitting is your gerund. It's a verb form ending in ing, the verb to knit, with the ing ending, and it's being used as a noun in that sentence. My grandmother is teaching me what? She's teaching me knitting. The fourth bullet, 10 pins is the same as bowling. I left a word out there, so you can write that in. 10 pins is the same as bowling. Bowling is a verb form. It is a form of the verb to bowl. I've added an ing, and I've made it used as a noun in this sentence. 10 pins is the same as what? It's the same as bowling. His favorite hobby, fishing, takes skill and patience. Actually, you may remember that what this word fishing is in this sentence. Some of you may remember that it's called in a positive. His favorite hobby, hobby is our subject, takes is our predicate, and fishing is a noun telling us what his favorite hobby is. Fishing is functioning as a noun in that sentence, even though it's a verb form. Now in the exercises here, I will do 5 together, and then I'll leave 5 blank for you to do later. I want you to put in a verb form, the form of a verb that has an ing ending for all of these blanks here. So the first one is blank is a healthy pastime. Think of a verb, think of an ing form of that verb, and think of what could be considered a healthy pastime. Gaming, maybe not so much. Snacking, maybe not so much. But those are gerunds. Those are ing forms of the verb that are being used as a noun. But think about hiking. Hiking is a healthy pastime. Running is a healthy pastime. Walking is a healthy pastime. Hunting is a healthy pastime. Okay, that's how we use an ing form of the verb as a noun. Look at number 2. To grow spiritually, make blank a daily habit. Now, think of a verb, put an ing ending on it so that it functions as a noun. What can we put in that blank? To grow spiritually, make Bible reading. To grow spiritually, make praying a daily habit. Make meditating a daily habit. Okay, number 3. I want you to do this one before I say it, okay? Besides hiking, Joseph spends time blank. An ing form of a verb that's being used as a noun. Think of one. Write it in. Besides hiking, Joseph spends time camping. That's what I have. Hopefully you have something good like that. Number 4, blank displeases God. Think of a verb, add an ing, and fill in the blank so that that word functions in the sentence as a noun. As a matter of fact, it's functioning in the sentence as the subject of the sentence. What displeases God? Think of something. Lying, gossiping, cheating, sinning, whatever verb you pick, whatever verb form that you picked, it's functioning as a noun. As a matter of fact, it's functioning as the subject of that sentence. Gossiping is our subject, displeases is our predicate. And then look at number 5. He spends too much time blank the internet. Now you can't say he spends too much time on the internet. It has to be a gerund. It has to be a verb form that ends in ing that is functioning as a noun. So think of a verb, put an ing on it, use it as a noun in that sentence. He spends too much time surfing the internet. Or we could say he spends too much time playing on the internet. All right, you're going to do 6 through 10 yourself. Look at the second section of exercises. All I want you to do there is circle the gerunds. So we're looking for an ing word that's functioning as a noun. So circle the gerund in the first sentence. Talking during class is discouraged by most teachers. What's the verb form with an ing ending that's functioning as a noun? You should have circled talking. Number 2, orbiting or circling the Earth first occurred in 1961 by a Russian astronaut. There are 2 gerunds in that sentence. What are they? Verb forms that end in ing that are used as nouns in that sentence. Circle them. You should have circled orbiting, circling. Number 3, our outdoor adventure will include zip lining and hang gliding. Circle 2 gerunds in that sentence. Should have circled zip lining and hang gliding. With a chaperone along, your behavior will not go beyond talking. Circle the gerund in that sentence. You should have circled talking. You're going to do 5 through 8 by yourselves. Now, this last part is a really important thing for you to be able to understand. That just because a verb form ends in ing, it's not necessarily a gerund. It has to end in ing and function as a noun in the sentence. It can still function as a verb in a sentence. So you have to be able to tell the difference between when an ing form of the verb is functioning as a gerund and when it's functioning as a verb. So let's look at these. We're going to do all of them together. I like using the many names of God when I pray. Let's look at that sentence. What's our subject? I. What's the predicate? Like. Now, we ask the question, like what? And it leads us to our gerund, which is the ing form of the word to use, and it is being used in that sentence as a noun. I like what? I like using the many names of God when I pray. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. Shelley is cooking dinner tonight for the family. What's the subject of my sentence? Shelley. What's my predicate? Is cooking. Okay, in that case, the verb cooking is not a verbal gerund. It is part of the verb phrase, is cooking. Is the helping verb, cooking is the main verb. Shelley is cooking. Let's look at the next one. The 6-month-old baby is crawling already. What's our subject in that sentence? Baby. What's the baby doing? Is crawling. In that sentence, crawling is not a gerund. It's not being used as a noun. It's being used as part of the verb. It is the main verb of the verb phrase, is crawling. Look at the next one, though. This is different. Crawling is a sign of muscle coordination and strength. All of a sudden, crawling is being used differently in that sentence. Crawling is actually our subject. So it is a gerund. It is a verb form being used as a noun. Crawling is our subject. Is our predicate. Look at number 5. We both will be rowing the rowboat. What's our subject? We. What's our predicate? Will be rowing. You should recognize that as future continuous. Will be rowing. So there, rowing is the main verb of a verb phrase. Let's look at number 6, though, where rowing is used differently. Rowing is a sport that goes back to ancient Egypt. Rowing is actually the subject of our sentence there. It's a gerund. It's a verb form being used as a noun. Rowing is our subject. Is our predicate. All right, so we've done all those for you. What you need to do to fill out this worksheet is the rest of exercise part number 1, 6 through 10, and then 5 through 8 in the middle of the page, and turn this in actually at the, have it done by the end of the week and turn it in next Monday. All right, that's all on gerunds right now. Your next video is going to be on the third kind of verbal, and that's called an infinitive. Hang on for that one. We'll see you in a minute.